Hey everybody, and welcome to the Pastrami Nation Podcast, brought to you from Linebreakers in Victorville, California. My name is Nolan, and I got quite the cast of characters today. We'll start off with, of course, we got Jason.
Hi everybody. We
have Linebreakers' very own David McKean.
Hi.
We have, returning for the first time in so long,
Wow.
from Y102, Mychal Fabela.
Hey! Microphone's over here, buddy. You're supposed to look at yourself.
Hello, what's going on?
And then we have a special guest today, too. We have Project C28, Noble.
What up,
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys will notice this is a different format. Probably looks quite a bit better. It's fantastic. So, you're going to be seeing more and more podcast shows, videos on YouTube. You're going to be seeing it over on our website at pastramination.com. And you're going to be seeing more of these faces on a variety of different shows. So, I hope you're ready for a whole lot of pop culture goodness, because we are. We have some cool topics to talk about, but first, we're going to be giving away some things at the end. What are we giving away? So, first up, we have Neon Futures #1. From brand new company Impact Theory, and it's actually signed by the CEO of Impact Theory, and it includes a digital copy as well. So one person will win that comic,
Steve Aoki.
and one person will win a signed copy of John Boy Myers' Volume 2 sketchbook.
What's up, girl?
Very cool.
Very nice.
I met that guy in person. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he was over at WonderCon last weekend?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
weekends,
ago.
yeah.
And yeah, he is a fantastic guy. So
We'll get to that next week.
how do you win this? You got to keep listening and watching and checking out, because we're going to tell you at the very end of the show. So let's jump right into our topics, guys. I think we're going to go with the big one first.
Okay. All right.
And there is nothing bigger right now than Avengers Endgame.
That's right.
What?
Yeah, what's up?
What's
You
that?
shut your mouth, Michael.
It's very
It's good to
large.
be back. I'm done. Thanos won. Why are we having another movie? No, we're done.
And that's what we want to talk about. Did Thanos win? So what we're talking about today is predictions about Endgame. What happened? What's going to happen? Who's going to die? Who's not? What does the future hold? There's been some spoilers that have been leaked out. I don't know if you guys are aware of it.
I have stayed away as much as I don't want to know.
I'm not gonna drop it there.
I saw a spoiler, but it wasn't like necessarily a movie killer spoiler.
You probably saw the same one I
I'd
did.
rather just.
On the toy one?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say it. Even if you don't say what it is.
So let's talk about predictions.
It was Shazam.
Oh, I knew it.
Say his name.
Shazam. Say my name.
Billy.
Billy.
I was like, you're Heisenberg.
It's great.
So what are our predictions for Avengers Endgame,
Who's
guys?
starting?
Whoever wants to jump in.
I'll jump in first. Okay. So Ant-Man goes up Thanos' butt. That's it. Wait.
What is wrong with you?
That's the one I've been hearing about. Oh, wait. That's the spoiler, isn't
You're
it?
cracking me up.
No, in all seriousness, you know what? I think right now the biggest thing that's on my mind is who's going to stay alive, because I know they have some background info that some of the actors are going to be ending their contract with this last movie. They did confirm, not really a spoiler, but Stan Lee's last cameo is actually in this movie as well. But one thing to note that, again, that's concerning me is who's going to die, who's going to stay, and how are they moving forward in this next phase, and what's the bigger threat after this movie? Because there's got to be something even bigger than Thanos after this. I know they recently just acquired Fox. They also recently acquired the X-Men. And the Fantastic Four. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, they did.
And I know that Kevin Feige went out and he said we're not looking at the X-Men or even the Fantastic Four for the next 5 years or so. But I think it's for good reason, though. Personally, because it's like they want to do something good with those characters. They've just recently come back home. You know, it took them a while to do something with Spider-Man, and I haven't really seen anybody complain about it other than the costume is whatever.
I haven't heard any complaints about it.
There you go. See, my point exactly. I guess I was just trying to come up with something. But
People drinking their haterade.
and I think, getting back to the question, my prediction for the film, honestly, I don't think Thanos is going to die.
I agree.
So can I counter that?
Go ahead.
So I was talking to Kevin Hoskinson. He's one of our reviewers at Pastrami Nation. And he said, what if Thanos is already dead? What if he was one of the ones killed in the snap? And if you think about the poster that we saw that shows everybody up in the sky that died, Thanos is the center of that poster in the sky.
Really?
Yeah. So what if when he went to that, because obviously he's one of the gems or something, because remember at the end when he's like talking to the little girl Gamora, and she's like, "What did it cost you? Everything." What if he's dead? And that's what he meant by it cost me everything. It cost me my literal life, but I achieved my goal.
So then what are we seeing at the very end of Infinity War then? We clearly see him at the end sitting on the hill where he's won. I mean, his arm is charged.
Who's to say that's not the afterlife?
Okay, so I think that's a good theory. What I think that might be a little debunked is by, one, the end of Infinity War, when Thor is looking at him after that scene and goes, "What did you do?" And he uses the snap. He uses the gauntlet again to go to that place. And then the Marvel just released a clip of Black Widow and the rest of the gang. This is after they've already met Captain Marvel, saying he used the stones again. Let's go after him. Cap says, "Let's go get this son of a beast." So I think with those kind of two clips, that might debunk that theory.
What if he uses
a good theory?
What if he uses stone again to come back?
He could.
Because Thanos,
he could.
in the comics, his big thing was death. He's obsessed with death. So what if
Infinity Stones? I mean, he
They
could.
haven't really even touched on that at all.
I was going to say, they haven't touched on
But
that.
what if he's there and that's how they tie death in? Instead of being the physical being like Gilligan
Yeah.
Reaper, maybe it's just more the idea of death and he's able to come back. But if he uses it again, it's interesting. What did he use it on and how? Because it got busted.
That's right. That's right. And that's how, what it looks like at the beginning of the movie. That one clip that Marvel had just released seems like the beginning of the film. You can see the music is going to go into the Avengers Endgame type of logo, and then the movie's going to start. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things. So here's the one thing is I don't want to see any more clips. Like Marvel, please don't let me.
I stopped.
I didn't want to see that clip, but it didn't show us enough. If anything, it really confused me more. Is now I have no idea what this movie's about. I like being in that place. We've seen them in their suits. Are they time jumping or are they not time jumping? We've seen some characters in the same scenes. The one thing I was kind of bummed is I didn't want to know if Tony made it back or not. Because my theory was that Tony died in space.
Okay.
But they already showed that in the
first trailer.
in the trailers.
Yeah.
They showed it in the trailers. That's why I don't want to see any more trailers. I don't want to know.
I have a theory about that. Okay, so one thing that I know that's been mentioned, I want to say the Russo brothers had mentioned this, that part of those trailers are fake. And the reason why I believe something like that is because look at the old trailer for Infinity War. Remember that big scene we see? They're all running in. You see the Hulk's back there. You see Captain America, the Winter Soldier. All those guys are flying by.
Yeah.
That scene was never in the movie.
Yeah, Hulk never hulked up.
Yeah.
He was never even in the movie.
They even made a toy of Hulk hulking up inside the Hulkbuster, which was cut footage and never happened.
Yeah.
So
who's to say that part of that trailer, even some editing was put in to just throw everybody off? Because one thing that I've heard, some early speculation and some early people who have seen some of the footage of the movie itself said it's completely mind-blowing. Nobody is going to expect what's going to be happening.
and they have said nobody has guessed what the ending is.
Yeah.
Out of all the different.
Good. I hope not.
I know. So that could.
So apparently Ant-Man does not go up his butt.
Yeah.
Apparently, but it hasn't been said.
Well, what do you think? What are some
I
predictions?
don't have it really. I have no idea. I have been like an ostrich, my head in the sand. I haven't seen any videos.
That's why he covered his ears.
I'm mad that I know that there was pictures of Iron Man a lot. I don't know nothing.
Those could be fake too. I'm still convinced. One of my theories is I'm still convinced. You haven't seen any trailers at all?
No. I don't even have like a TV though. So
Well, then I don't know. I don't really want to say too much, but
it's all right.
They show pretty much Iron Man in space. My theory still is that he dies. I think he's going to die there.
He's been wanting to get
my
off the show
prediction
for a while.
is that
Be done with it.
they
He's
are
the most
going to.
expensive actor they have in the entire MCU.
Yeah.
They
Well, his contract's up, right? So I think that RDJ at some point, or Iron Man, Tony Stark, is going to die at some point in this movie.
But
I think he's going to die at some point in this movie.
Cheaper.
Uh,
Alternate dimensions.
I don't think you should recast.
Nobody's really said that.
There's a different way too. So I mean,
I think he'll die, but I don't think he's dying in space in that scene we see him in.
I agree.
Maybe
and
so.
we've
Maybe.
seen. Oh, you might want to cover your ears for this one.
Okay.
So
I've already seen that.
So SH Figure Arts showed a few figures.
Yeah.
And they showed Iron Man Mark 50, right? And they show Iron Man Mark 85. 85.
That's a far jump, yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for this? Tony Stark in this timeline, my opinion, he dies in space. He doesn't make it back. The Avengers go time jumping. They go to the first Battle of New York. And that's the Tony that they talk to and they warn about what's about to happen. And that Tony's who they bring back. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that our Tony
But you
dies.
think
The
Tony
same way
dies?
our Loki died.
You think he's dead?
I think Tony Stark dies in the beginning.
And you think Loki's dead?
I think Loki's dead.
Yeah, he died.
I think Loki's died in Infinity War.
I'm kind of on board with that. I think Loki's dead.
Loki's
because
completely dead.
They already killed him once. Why?
But that's kind of he's been killed a bunch of
He's a god.
times.
He's a trickster.
Resurrections this time.
Yeah,
And Captain America?
Captain America.
I think he's gone.
I don't think he dies.
Okay.
I don't think he dies a death. I think
You think he retires into the sunset?
I think he gets his dance with Peggy.
I think he does when he's dead.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
Tell me
waiting
how
for him.
emotional that would be.
I think he stays back in time.
This is just a
Man out of time.
I think he stays back
this
in
is
time.
just a balls to the wall theory, but
I have no idea.
I think what would be absolutely crazy is if obviously we're going to see some time travel. I think that's kind of already been confirmed with the quantum realm and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I think, again, balls to the wall theory. What if Steve wants to go back to the 1960s and just be left there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah,
That's
Oh,
exactly.
that's basically what you said.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he's gonna go back and he's gonna stay with Peggy. He's not gonna.
Because he never found his real home.
He's all worked. I did my.
He deserves his reward.
Yeah.
You know, and he would never get it in the future. That's not his time, you know?
But then again, he did kiss her granddaughter, right? Isn't that kind of weird?
Don't
niece.
judge the man.
Niece.
Oh, the one-
He
yeah,
doesn't have to tell her.
It's a little weird, no?
It's a niece.
The niece, whatever,
It
same
happened-
difference.
it happened in the
It's-
comics.
it's,
You don't bring that up. You don't go back and say like, "Hey, Peggy, by the way, in the future."
But then again, he was never married to that chick, so it's really not.
Well,
weird,
and it's
you
not
know?
even in the
I
future.
know.
This is
To me,
we're
that's
talking
just weird,
even with
though.
time. They could go to a different timeline altogether, not to the past. They could
Go
be
to
going to a
Spider-Man
different timeline.
2099
So
time.
Tony Stark in a different
Ravage
timeline could be
2099.
up to suit 88 by the time they go
It
to
could
the
be
Avengers. You
Arnold
never know.
Stark from Iron Man 2020, which is a very well-known future Iron Man. So we might see Enter the Ironverse. Jeez, you just don't know.
So I know I'm kind of putting my input in here, but what characters do you guys want to see them introduce in this film? If we could get maybe two,
None.
maybe three.
I think it's too packed.
I'd like
I don't
to
want
see
any more.
like not a main character, but there's a character Moondragon that's one of Thanos' daughters. I'd like to
Oh
see
yeah,
them
I mean,
introduce.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, like
I mean,
I'd totally be
something
okay with
within
that.
the current universe. I
Not a
don't-
major hero.
No, I think you can
something
cameo
like-
stuff and maybe some post-credit scenes, or you can kind of nod your head
that
to
and
the
Cardiac
future.
from the Spider-Man universe.
Cardiac is not going to appear.
I think it's so important for Marvel and Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers to really just focus on these characters. I think that's what the plan is to do, is to really focus. This is the end of the 10 years. This is the end of all the Avengers that we know. We should really focus on these characters. I think that's why it's no coincidence that when the snap happened, yeah, there was some, people from Wakanda. Yes, there was Rocket, but and Nebula, but we have the core Avengers back together in this film. I think that's for a reason. They should focus on these, close the chapter, and then I'm excited for how they're going to develop Fantastic Four, X-Men. I think we just need to focus on this phase, this Infinity Saga that they've dubbed it, and then move forward after that. I don't want to see any more movies because I just want to focus on the heroes that I'm going to say goodbye to, whoever it's going to be.
So what are the team? I was going to say what are the teams because it could be two. What does the team look like moving forward?
That upsets me. Like I'm in love with all those actors in the roles they did.
It's hard to say
And it's
bye.
like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't see them rebooting the Avengers in the future with new people. Oh my god!
Well,
Can't
it
even-
could be
can't
new
imagine.
Avengers.
Yeah,
And if they're thinking about using Wolverine down the timeline,
Avengers West Coast.
Oh man!
I love the West Coast Avengers. Yeah, I mean they're not good for cinema.
I mean, you're thinking you're probably, who knows what the heck's going to happen in this movie. We're going to find out who's not going to be in for sure, but I think you're going to have Captain Marvel moving forward, and you're going to
I think
have
she's going to
War
be a big
Machine.
part of it.
I think if you're able to snap people back, you'll have those people that you lost. Of course, Black Panther,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He has a
Doctor
movie
Strange.
coming out. Come
I
on.
just hope they don't have Captain Marvel as the one that kills Thanos because that'd be too predictable.
I don't think they're going to do
Yeah,
that.
that
I don't
would-
think so
they're
either.
gonna
I
do
think
that.
everyone's going to get their fair share of screen time.
I want
where
Thor to get that
battle.
shot. Like he deserves it. Like get that shot to the head
I'd like to see Drax as the one to do it.
because he did in the comics.
yeah, just
Yeah, but I
stick
think
to-
they've just made Drax so
Silly?
silly
sluggish.
that, and he couldn't even really do anything to Ronan. If he can't really do anything to Ronan, I don't think he's going to be able to
Ronan's a
touch it.
weenie
But
compared
that
to.
big
Yeah, that
Galoob
was
could be
without a
the
Gauntlet.
hero of
I'm
it all.
disappointed in Ronan as a whole. I don't even like talking about Ronan anymore.
Yeah, he was a waste of Captain
I'm
Marvel.
sorry.
That's a whole
That
other
just
story.
He was.
grinding my
Captain-
gears big time.
Which They could redeem that if in the next Captain Marvel movie he is more of the main villain. Absolutely. Because he seemed pretty evil in Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe he got a little more gruesome cojones as those times went on. Because there's a lot of time between Captain Marvel and the first Guardians where we see Ronan. So
if they decide to stay in the timeline, or if they jump all the way to whatever's after Endgame, you know, I know I've heard rumors of different characters popping up, and I think they're all fake because there's no way you wouldn't bring all these other characters into the movie.
And I don't want to know, because I think what surprised me so much about Infinity War is because I had no idea what was going to happen. So everything was a surprise to me. Every time something happened to a character,
how lucky!
I mean,
because I pretty much I knew everybody who I didn't know the snap part, but I knew the outcome. I was like, I knew what's going to happen. You know, if you read the comics, you kind of figure like, he's gonna win.
Well,
he's Thanos.
Well, yes.
And you knew there was a part 2 coming.
But no one ever dies really.
I didn't expect
MCU.
the snap
Like
ones.
I didn't think they were going to end with him winning. That's what really surprised me.
Yeah,
it was a good way to end it, though.
It was a really dark way to end it. But you know
Very
what?
Empire Strikes Back.
I was even going to say Lord of the Rings too, because even the Two Towers, how that ends, where it's like we don't really know what's going to happen after this. I mean, if you've read the stories, of course, you know what's going to happen. But it's I know what they've said before is that Infinity War used to be part 1 and 2, but because during the writing process they turned into 2 completely different movies because they were 2 different tones of movies. One is this story where we're understanding the Avengers are completely defeated. They've lost divided. That's a good point. And it's like they're experiencing what it is to really lose against somebody so big. But now this is going to be the redeeming portion of that fight. They're going to come back with a vengeance, and now from here, who knows who's going to step in? Who knows what's going to happen? And I know they released the runtime's going to be 3 hours.
Yeah,
which I'm totally fine with. I don't care how long it is.
I am too.
If this is gonna be the culmination of all these years and all these movies and all the characters that we don't want to say goodbye to, then that's fine. You know what I mean? If this is a normal movie or a single character movie, it's kind of long, but it's a lot to fit into this.
And I know for a fact with the Russos directing this movie, they're gonna have some really epic endings to say goodbye to our loved characters, but also the new characters. They're not going to leave them, without their due, if that makes any sense. They're going to give them the justice that they deserve and the ones that they need. That's one thing I really liked about Civil War was that we had a good balance of everybody who was there, everybody involved with the team.
Everyone had a purpose who was on screen.
Everybody had a
just there
purpose.
because they had to be.
Exactly. So I don't have any doubts. I'm just anxious to hurry up and see the film overall.
All right, here's what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. The Avengers are going to go after Thanos early.
Okay.
They are going to either 1, get their butts handed to them, or 2, they're actually going to kill him. And they can't bring people back with the gauntlet because it's damaged. And now they're screwed and have to figure out what they need to do afterwards.
So what do you do then without a gauntlet?
I don't know. That's the thing is I think this is going to be a really circumstantial thing because they can't live with failing. Thanos snapped half the population. They beat him and they go, hey, we won. And then they can't do anything about it. Like, killing him meant nothing.
Right.
Because it was not more so Thanos, it was what he did that they need to undo, not really killing him. But
maybe that's what we see with some kind of, the time travel, quantum realm kind of thing. We see, hey, we got our revenge, but it meant nothing.
It meant nothing.
And
now we have to figure out a more strategic way to bring our family.
Yeah, because you can't leave half of the population of Earth dead.
Now, do we think that Nebula is going to get the Infinity Gauntlet?
Nebula?
I don't.
You don't think so?
I think somebody else is.
Someone else is going to get it.
I have my big theory on
You
that.
think they'll break it up, pass out the gems?
No. I think one human is going to wield that Infinity Gauntlet.
Iron Man?
Iron Man.
He's going to build something like a suit or something.
No, it's going to be Pepper Potts. Everybody knows that already, okay?
Infinity armor.
I'm pissed. They're going to Pepper Potts. It's gonna be so
I can see
cool.
that.
That would be awesome.
I think it's going to be Iron Man. That could be the
They'll
big
start shouting the glove with the Iron Man hand or
You
something.
got to
Yeah.
think too. You got to think of we really haven't seen any of Wakanda in any of his footage. We've seen the core Avengers. They've got I'm gonna lose vibranium now that he can build suits out of that can maybe withstand stuff. Because look with the gauntlet, we don't even know what it's made out of. What kind of metal?
Right, it's made all the way up there with
So who knows? There's so many possibilities, and I think that's why I like it so much. Is even with all the footage they have shown us, and I haven't wanted to see because I'm more like you. I want to go completely blind into this thing.
Yeah.
I still now that it's funny as they've given us more footage, I'm like, oh man, why did you do that? And then I go back and I go, you know what? I'm really confused even more now. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I actually didn't even know about this clip you guys were talking about.
Well, yeah, they released it.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay, I'm going to keep it that way.
Keep it that way. It doesn't ruin anything, but
Yeah.
it got me a little pumped. Got me a little pumped for it.
Yeah. So for
That's
anybody
probably
who's
intention,
watching my
right?
channel,
Yeah, it was.
I'm not going to react.
There's
to that,
one line
okay?
from Captain America that really, really got me pumped in that scene because it's very uncharacteristic for Captain America to have that line, but in that moment, it makes sense why he would say this line, and it just gave weight to the whole situation.
Wow.
Cap is back, the team is there, whoever it's going to be, whether Tony's there or not, or whatever it is, these guys are on a mission to really turn the tide of what happened in this last movie, and I'm excited for it. And I don't want to know anymore. We're a couple weeks away, and let's keep it that way. I really think if Marvel releases anything, I'm going to be like you, David. I'm not going to watch anything else.
Well, good luck because you know
Every-
spoilers are
I
coming
know.
out.
I'm ghosting on social
you know what?
media until.
The marketing
You
game that
could-
they're doing right now,
know.
they've done little to nothing as far as selling stuff or promoting stuff.
They don't have to.
So many
It's
secrets.
just like it's-
Exactly. They don't have to. You're absolutely right. And I'm
if you
glad.
start looking at the toy shelves soon, you're going to see some very big spoiler stuff.
Really?
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not buying Marvel Legends.
Well, you don't have to. It could be role playing gear. It can be anything.
We have plushie.
It could be a Snuggie.
Fing Fang Foom? Anybody
Oh
looking at
yeah,
that maybe?
yeah. You just
Right next to the
don't know.
lockjaw plushie.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Right.
Well, I think we're all excited.
Yes.
For Avengers Endgame.
that is undeniable.
So we have our predictions. We're definitely going to be there. We'll be there. I know night of. Hopefully everybody else will be.
I'll
I
try
gotta
my best
wait
to
till
be
like
there.
Monday, so I gotta really go cave mode and not let anyone tell me anything.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
suck.
close the shop for a couple days until you can go see it. Then roll back up.
I'll have to.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into the other universe. We talked about the Marvel universe. Let's talk about the
gears.
DC universe. And with that, I mean, besides, of course, Shazam being amazing, the biggest movie to talk about in DC is Joker.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
The trailer dropped last week.
Yeah.
Joaquin
Pretty damn
Phoenix.
good.
Yeah, let's talk about reactions of that trailer. I know Project C28 over here did a reaction video,
Go check it out. YouTube, Project C28. See it right there.
but let's talk about it right here, right now. What did we think about the Joker trailer?
Thought it looked pretty creepy. I think we're gonna get a really dark Joker.
Yeah.
Just the way you see people messing with him and stuff. It's like he's gonna snap eventually. And,
Yeah, get that grin.
oh yeah.
Well, and I think it's going to be a very much society created the Joker.
Yeah.
And you see that when these people are screwing with him, messing with him. He's trying to be a happy guy. His mom tells him to always smile and be positive. Something's going to happen to mom. Something's going to happen to everybody he loves, and he's going to lose his crap. I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, so I think he's going to do a great job. This trailer looked creepy as hell,
So good, though.
and it looked fantastic to me. Mr. Fabela, what did you think about it, Mr. Negativity?
Okay, I think I get a bad rap on this podcast. I'm just keeping it real.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
2.
No, listen. I think we're in for. I think you should really wipe the palette of what you think the Joker is, who you think the Joker is. This is a standalone movie. This is not connected to whatever DC is doing with their universe. This is a one shot because Joaquin Phoenix is known to play roles only one time. So I think this is actually whether they do move forward with Jared Leto, hopefully not, in my opinion, or they get a new Joker in the DCEU. Let's just clean the palette, have someone completely different, and just go along for the ride. I just look at this as a one-shot comic. This is a one-time thing, and we've never really gotten an origin story of the Joker before, which is super interesting to me. So when I'm looking at this, I'm going, I'm not sure what I'm watching because you think of the Joker, he's really never gotten a standalone. We've kind of gotten his origin a little bit in Batman movies and animated movies.
I think
and
that's Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, which is the most you've kind of gotten. This is a really unique tale. Joaquin Phoenix already with the makeup, as he transforms, his pain starts to turn into this psychotic craziness, and you kind of see him after he's dyeing his hair, and that scene where he's walking down the hall, and I'm just like, okay. This guy's the Joker, so I'm pretty pumped
How do
for
you
it.
feel
I thought
about
it was good.
the nose? He has like the little red.
I think that's just a temporary thing. You mean the little soft nose thing? Or you're talking about
the red paint?
The paint, yeah.
Listen, I think it's fine because this isn't our traditional Joker. That is,
This is first appearance
the
Joker.
First appearance Joker. I think it's going to make more sense in context because he's coming from a circus type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's going to make sense that his makeup is more like that. Maybe, and as the film evolves, so will his makeup and less stuff, and it'll look more like the Joker. But I'm okay with it because I think
like
it's
the
going to
way
make
it
sense.
looks, yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Different
It
take
fits.
on it,
It's different take and it should be because
Fits
this
the
isn't the same
time frame,
Joker. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because this is a time frame where Thomas Wayne is alive.
Well, it kind of brings back
Yeah.
kind of the Caesar Romero Joker look, you know?
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
very slightly. So
I'm excited about it.
personally, I think.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I know.
It's Mychal Noble Day.
I'm not Mike. No. In all honesty, in my reaction video, I talked about how if you really watch it and kind of what you had said, Jason, about it being just completely creepy, it's almost bone chilling how uncomfortable his look and how his demeanor is. Just like he's one of the weird guys that you want to stay away from down the street and just kind of keep to yourself. But that's the beauty of it, though. And one thing that I really liked a part of the trailer, when I think he was looking at somebody, or it was a nurse or somebody, and he's looking through that great little piece, and he smiles, and he's like, what? And he's got that creepy grin. So I personally think that Joaquin Phoenix is going to kill it. The dude is a phenomenal actor, and I have no doubt that he's going to bring something not just different, but something very special to the Joker. But one thing I did want to point out during the trailer, if you notice, as he's Arthur Fleck, right? We noticed in the beginning of the trailer, he's kind of hunched over. He's kind of like, not really reserved, but more like he's more shy. You could really tell.
Absolutely.
As you progress through the trailer, watch his demeanor, and as it changes, the dude is standing up straight. He's more confident.
He's walking that staircase.
It's a completely different human being, and that to me is really interesting.
Scary.
Where did he have to go for him to just completely break?
But like he says in the movie, I thought my life was a tragedy, and then I realized it was a comedy. He lost his crap.
Yeah, he lost his mind.
He lost it.
Holy, it's the craziest person ever, right? Joker.
Yeah, and Heath Ledger did a great job of being that maniacal, crazy kind of Joker. I think we're going to get along those lines of just utterly insane. Whereas Leto was more just like, oh, I'm crazy, haha, edgy crazy. This is going to be more like, don't screw with this guy because he'll kill you while he's talking to you. Right? He doesn't care. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fantastic.
I think what this movie can do is really set the trajectory and the standard back to the Joker that they could introduce in the DCEU or whatever they're calling it now. Because we got this Jared Leto thing, and he tried, and it just didn't land. I think there's some core things that Jared Leto tried to bring to the character that could have worked. It just didn't work for me. And I think if Joaquin Phoenix really kills it, at least it'll give us the ballpark and the type of Joker we need. Because I don't want this Joker to be repeated. Because Joaquin Phoenix is going to do what he's going to do. What he's going to do is he's going to kill it, and we're going to wish he was in the universe, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to give more directors and actors a ballpark of how the Joker should be. The same way a lot of voice actors look to Mark Hamill. They make it their own, but they're still in the ballpark of that type of Joker vocally. This is just as an actor.
And even to add to that, what did you guys think of the laugh?
It's fine.
I loved it,
Yeah, I thought it was good. Very, very creepy.
It's Joker, but it's his own. It didn't sound like Heath. It didn't sound, kind of.
Thank God it doesn't sound like Jared Leto.
It's a Heath
Brother Jack
/
Nicholson.
Mark / other Joker. Like I really liked. He made it his own without being.
It'd be horrible if you tried to imitate another Joker.
That's right.
Like you got to bring it out from yourself.
I think
Felt
he
like
took
a
all
fresh
those
take on
and-
a good Joker laugh,
Yeah.
and that just flew right out of the ballpark for me. That was amazing. Now, I actually kind of have a theory about this Joker. It is a standalone film, but who's to say it doesn't tie into something else? It doesn't necessarily have to be the DCEU. It's just a crazy,
Yeah, I can
crazy.
see it tying.
It's tied into like an old film. Like I don't know.
What if this is the backstory of our Heath Ledger Joker? Throwing that out there, does
It
that
could.
make sense
It
to
does.
me?
Could be,
I mean,
yeah.
does that because what I was thinking was the long hair kind of gave it away. The demeanor, his stance, the way he talks.
That'd be a cool twist. Dude.
That could be that could happen.
That'd be a cool twist.
I mean,
really would.
I mean, that would be.
I'd be fine with it.
Complete homage to Jared.
So that's the ultimate tribute to Heath Ledger,
Heath
right?
Ledger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? That'd be really interesting. I mean, that's just a fan theory that I had, and I haven't really spoke to anybody about it, but I wanted to kind of see what you guys thought about that.
I'd be totally fine if they did that. Because you're still tying into something that we know and love.
You're telling an amazing story, and you're not taking anything away from Heath Ledger's performance.
Still stands alone at that point too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's good.
So yeah, I think we're in agreement. We're excited for the Joker by that trailer. Joker drops a long time from now, like October, I believe, right?
If it lands anywhere near
Not
my
a good
birthday,
one.
I'll be
6 months
happy.
away.
There's a lot of good movies to get to before
Yeah.
then. So
Yeah.
We
So
have enough
usually
to-
we say like we can't wait, but we could wait
We have to because we have to wait.
Just a little
Well,
bit.
we have
It'll
Avengers.
come at a perfect time because there's really not a lot going on for Marvel or DC before that movie. So as soon as we get to Spider-Man Far From Home, kind of have a nice break until that point.
Yeah, and then you'll be hungry for more comic book goodness.
And then Star Wars. So yeah, we'll talk about that later.
That'll be another episode.
It's its own episode.
Yeah, that needs its own.
Star Wars
How that
episode.
movie needs
Nope.
to not suck.
no.
Episode nope.
Episode 9, Rose dies.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't even.
If you don't hate Rose, you can't be on this podcast. And you also have to hate Star Trek.
You see him get up and leave.
I'm like,
You also have to hate Michael.
Michael.
Okay, listen. Okay, no, that's a whole different story. Rose is not. She's not the issue of the film. She's not the issue of the film.
The writing was the issue.
There's a lot of
She's just
issues.
an unpleasant.
There is some issues.
There's some issues.
Needs work.
Yeah.
But we'll keep the Star Wars one to the next one.
Okay, yeah.
We don't want to dive more
I want
into
to talk
that.
about on that.
Let's move on to our third and final topic. And that is, well, we're not far from it. It's Free Comic Book Day.
All the craziness that we're talking about originated.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that we've been talking about today comes from a comic book. Free Comic Book Day, if you don't know, it's always the first Saturday in May. So May 4th, May the 4th be with you.
It's gonna
Also,
be
Star
bad.
Wars Day.
It's also Star Wars Day.
Perfect, right?
It's a
Whammy.
double whammy.
So, comic book shops across the nation and across the world are participating in this. They'll have a variety of different free comics from different publishers, and they all have their own festivities. If you're here in Southern California, I highly recommend come and check out Linebreakers Free Comic Book Day.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be big.
So what kind of stuff do we got planned? So I know we got free comic books.
Over 1,000 free comic books. Not individual titles, but we have lots of comics to
Wow.
give away. Lots.
Very cool.
That's
Then
awesome.
we are also bringing in like a warehouse full of dollar dig boxes, long boxes, and $2 comics. We're going to be having discounts on our key issues and like variant covers. So,
Nice. And you have some great variants
We'll
here.
be doing auctions for some of the better stuff we have. It's also Star Wars Day, and at our store we have a lot of Star
Georgia
Wars
had a
fans.
pretty cool Star Wars thing up for grabs.
Yeah, we got a few Star Wars things up for grabs. We have an AT-AT from the Battlefront. Really? Yeah, to give away.
Oh man.
We have some authentic replica Star Wars weapons. So like a Sand Trooper rifle
Sweet.
and another repeater blaster. We're gonna have some cosplay events going on. The 501st says they're going to be attending.
501st
We've got
Legion,
a
wow.
contact. They did make contact. They did put it on their live event server. So we're hoping. We don't know exactly how many people are going to come, but it is up, and we do have a contact point with that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we have some carnival style
Garrison
games that are
Stormtroopers.
Star Wars themed,
Nice.
and it all ties in. There's some. I think there's even a Star Wars free comic. Just going to be a very day full of festivities.
That's
I'm excited for it.
exciting.
And it's a great location too. This is my first day here at Linebreakers, and I'm like, my mind is still trying to comprehend everything. Like I'm trying not to look around because I just want to get lost in this store.
That's
so
what you
I'm
got
excited
up a
to
few
check it out.
times.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? They got it. They got it.
People keep saying it's like a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. You just don't expect what you're going to find once you come through the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's true.
Absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
great store.
Yeah, this place is always
Happy to come.
very welcoming to come to. I mean, even the first time that I showed up here, I mean, I just kind of found it by accident, actually, and it's been great ever since. Everybody's been super cool, even just everybody just around.
I appreciate that.
The atmosphere is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel at home.
That's weird.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not cooking you dinner though.
But actually, we are cooking dinner. We're going to be having some food for Free
nice.
Comic Book Day.
Take it back.
Yeah, so
You could stay.
we will have dinner.
Just not today.
Not today.
Not today.
It's on May 4th.
So yeah, May 4th is the day, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock it starts. It'll be all day. Certain events will be happening at certain times, so people are free to come in, get stuff, then come back. We'll be able to pick up. We'll have a schedule posted. We're going to be doing we have a big Star Wars pinata of a Death Star for the kids.
Oh, nice.
So that event will happen.
It's fantastic,
Yeah,
man.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a
So
good time.
if you're in the high desert, definitely come out to Linebreakers May 4th, 10 a.m. tons of free comics. And
Free comics, thousands.
we have Pastrami Nation. We have been a part of Free Comic Book Days in the past. They're always amazing. Come on out. And I implore you to find a comic that you haven't read. Like, I know if you're a Spider-Man fan, you want to get that Spider-Man comic. Take the dive and try a Dark Horse one. Try an Image one, a Valiant one. Because that's what it's about. You know, get that Spider-Man one too.
It's not like other stores. You can take one of every comic.
Oh, look at that. Jeez.
So, and you never know. Sometimes a first appearance shows up in those Free Comic Book Days. They throw in little things that you don't know. Grab them all. You know, if you're a cosplayer, bring on in. We're gonna be dressed up. I'll be dressed up in either a Star Wars officer, a stormtrooper officer, or a Scum and Villainy outfit. And a couple other people.
The rest of us will just
costume.
the rest of us will just be scum.
Yeah. So if you want to dress up, come in dressed up. It's gonna be a good time.
Right, and this is a free event.
It's a free event.
So if you want to come out, it's completely free. Make sure you visit Linebreakers on Facebook, Instagram. Look for updates on there. And any questions, shoot them a message. You know, David, Denton, awesome people over here. So they'll be happy to answer your questions. We'll be here. We'll be doing a live from here for a few times during the day because, you know, we love coming out and supporting things like this in the community. And like you were saying, you know, the shop is just, it's enormous. You need to come out here and check this out. The desert is not used to having this kind of magnitude of a shop.
Yeah, it's by far the best shop.
Yeah, and
I'm blushing.
so make sure you check them out. I did mention at the beginning of the show that we're going to be giving away comics. So again, we're giving away Neon Future #1 and The Art of John Boy Myers, Volume 2, signed by John Boy Myers.
Cool.
That's awesome.
How do you win those? It's easy. So leave a comment on YouTube or on PastramiNation.com where you find this video. Just leave a comment. It could be about any of the topics here. We just want to know your input. What do you think about the Joker? What are your predictions for Avengers Endgame? Do you think like he thinks and that Ant-Man's going to go up his butt? I hope not.
I don't either. I was kidding.
He really wasn't, though.
Because if you do, you're blocked.
But leave a comment and let us know. And we will be drawing winners off of that. So that's all you got to do. Leave a comment on either YouTube or PastramiNation.com. Make sure to visit PastramiNation.com. We have tons of reviews, interviews, Project C28's reaction videos and review videos are always up there. Mychal Fabela has his audio reviews, which if you haven't checked out, they're pretty awesome. And of course, you know, he's our local celebrity, so we have to plug him. We have his thing of green M&Ms over there because it's the only way we could get him here.
I said green and blue on the rider, so we'll get the blue next.
And then we also got the truffle burger for you because you were like, I only eat truffle burgers. So.
Only the Angus one.
Yeah.
Not the third pound.
Yeah.
See, look, this is the kind of stuff that happened to get him here. So make sure you visit PastramiNation.com. Tons of great stuff. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest. Believe it or not, we're exploding on Pinterest.
You're on Pinterest?
Oh, dude.
I was the only dude on Pinterest. I'm happy about that.
We get about 25,000 viewers a month.
Oh, wow.
On Pinterest.
Pinterest. Okay.
Yeah.
And Tout. We're on Tout.
We're not on
Except mine's
Tout.
like
Tout
Michael
is-
shoes and my man pad. Like this is
My man's pad.
my man pad.
Okay.
Not my.
Yeah, you
And I will see you next
walked
year.
into that
shot
one.
yourself in the foot.
I would like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to Project C28 on YouTube. Check out his videos. Michael, what's the best way for them to keep track of your...
Go to Instagram. I'm going to have links to everything on there, links in the bios, whether I do videos, trying to get on one with this guy. We're going to do so much more at PastramiNation.com. So you can find me on IG at Radio Mike. That is RADIOMYKE.
Right? And then, of course, Linebreakers is on Instagram and Facebook.
Absolutely. That's
right.
So track them down. It's pretty easy. You just type in Linebreakers and it pops up. You'll see their cool little logo, red circle with a LB in it. So pretty easy to find. And then, of course, me and Jason, you find us on Pastrami Nation everywhere.
We're eating a pastrami sandwich.
At the hat.
Which I'm never invited to.
Because you don't show up.
They don't invite me.
All right. Well, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank everybody who showed up today.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Friends, man. This is what the whole fandom is all about.
This is the meet up pop culture right here.
Yes.
That's what we do. So signing off, this is Nolan.
Jason.
Noble.
David, what is my sandwich?
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Handbrake.
I can see Ant-Man flying up the gauntlet and just getting bigger with the gauntlet on.
What the? In the butt.
Right under the bus. In the gauntlet.
He flies up his butt and Thanos farts him out like purple fart.
Yeah.